A love letter to One Piece fans, new fans and old fans. An episode that showed us many different points of views of how people in One Piece in general view pirates, marines, and the Straw Hat pirates. And it's just so similar to us. I recommend you watch the episode before you watch this video, even if you didn't watch One Piece at all. It won't spoil anything major to you, really, excluding that one spoiler that everyone knows. Spoiler alert. In fact, it may actually convince you to watch One Piece and understand why we all love this series so much. There are so many different stories being told in this episode. Almost wouldn't believe Toei made it knowing their basic issues. But that's not the point here. This is a story about fans, about the background characters, the little kids in the streets, the lower ranked marine soldiers, the average 9-to-5 workers, the drunk people in taverns, basically your average everyday normal people that we don't exactly give the light to in a story. They almost represent us as an audience in how we view One Piece characters, or rather fictional characters in general. Some are inspired by them, giving them reason, hope, ideals, and goals, making them have that same type of love that you and I have for some of these characters, because it shows exactly how One Piece and fictional stories in general affect us. People that are not that significant will look up to these characters who are capable of changing them for the better. Characters just like you and I. Some argue about them. Who's the strongest character? Akainu or Whitebeard? Who's the better swordsman, Zoro or Mihawk? They also clown on Sanji. So as I said, it's not that different from us at all. They're exactly how you'd imagine our scalers and debaters would be, constantly arguing about who is better, who is stronger, and making up even more things that have nothing to do with the argument whatsoever, completely ignoring the story and the message in it, and focusing on the physical aspects and feats of their favorite characters. The little girl is a one who admires, a person whom idolizes, and sees someone as a beacon of hope, an inspiration for them to chase their own dreams, a person who's capable of seeing the beauty of someone without ever meeting them. The elder brother, despite his differences with his brother, it was only an event, rather a moment of inspiration that left an everlasting impression that would change him for the better. Moving forward, he wants to be that same positive difference in others' lives, just as that guy was for him. The funniest thing to see though, in my opinion, was how Brooke had a very attractive looking fan. Makes you genuinely think what would happen if they were to meet, cause we both know how Brooke would react if he knew such a cute girl was his fan. He'd genuinely freak out and ask her that one question that you and I both know.
やはりパンツもチョコなんでしょうか。当然だ。よっ楽しみチョコパンツ。パンツ見せて。
I'm not going to say anything more about the characters in this episode, for I'd rather you see it yourself. I only mention brief things about them in order to avoid spoiling, for this is not an episode you want to be spoiled on. But if you noticed this, I didn't mention any names. That is because the characters don't have names. This is just to further show that they are background characters in this much bigger world, which makes us feel like we are those characters, like we are those fans. It's such a brilliant creative move to do in order to further immerse people into this episode. They represent the fandom culture the most perfect way possible. Watching this episode, I was in complete awe. It was beautiful. It was perfect. It was a work of art. The absolute quality put into this episode is so incredible. It reignited a lost passion that I had for One Piece. It reminded me of everything good there was in One Piece. How excited I'd be after every arc, after every episode, wanting more and more. It shows a side of the war that we didn't see in the arc, as we were too focused on the main characters. A very realistic side to it, a painful one as well. How the war looked from the point of view of a marine soldier, a father, a filler character who's bound to be thrown into all that chaos. Whether they die or get injured, it doesn't matter, as they are not a main character. It shows us how terrifying the war was, how Whitebeard, Akaino, Mihawk and Crocodile, how they were all so strong and terrifying in comparison to this very weak little soldier. It was incredibly insightful. I'd have loved to see more episodes like this with other arcs, points of views, like the little kids who ate the smile fruit in Wano, and how they lifted that very unjust regime of Orochi, having nothing, no shelter, not even the basic need of food and water was given to them, or the toys in Dressrosa being completely forgotten and erased from history, seeing their loved ones move on as if they've never existed, their partners get new partners, their children, siblings, parents completely forget them, and how crushing of a reality it was to them, and how the actions of our lovable main characters changed them as well. This just completely shows the endless possibilities of expanding the One Piece world beyond just the main story. I really wish they do more of that. The animation and art's quality was just 1 billion budget movie level, let's be honest. Like, yeah, sure, I glaze One Piece, I dick ride this shit with my whole heart, but I did not expect they'd go this hard for an anime special. This just genuinely shook me to my core, or as Morty would say,
Open your mind! Holy shit!
this has indeed opened my eyes, my mind, and turned this episode into something much more deeper than I ever thought it could be. I genuinely have no words. I believe this just further shows why One Piece stands at the pinnacle of anime and manga. I don't think it's a hot take to say that this is the best episode of the year so far. Heck, it may be the best One Piece episode to date. I kid you not. I pity the seasonal anime that have to go head to head with One Piece. It literally surpassed the AOT finale, becoming the highest rated anime special ever. Megumi Ishitani cooked in episode 10-15, and now she did once again, like the chef she is in One Piece fan letter. She's an incredible person, really. Person who's capable of changing a simple at best story to something much more. An absolute genius storyteller and animator. Please give her kudos. She deserves it fully. I really hope she gets more directing roles, because she's clearly shown to be fully capable of delivering such bangers. I for once cannot wait for Studio Toei to come back. For once I am actually excited to see what they will put out next. One Piece fan letter is a love letter to you and me. A love letter not just to the series, but to the fans as well. Almost as if it's a work made by genuine fans just to please other fans. It makes the One Piece world feel much more alive and immersive, almost as if you were actually in it. A heartfelt love letter, not just to One Piece, but to anime, manga, and fiction itself, completely showcasing how much these fictional stories and characters mean to you and I, representing the love that everyone has for their favorite fictional series, an absolute work of art. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, check out my previous videos, and please recommend me some new ideas. I'm genuinely starting to run out of them.